What is going on, good people? All right, let me make sure that my mic is hot. All right, cool. What's happening, good people? Wherever you may be watching this, I know you see the title and you're probably like, this dude is either wilding out or he's on to something. I want to show you that I'm on to something. And it's because there's a conversation that typically we have that I thought, you know what, let's talk about it. So many of you have heard of this idea of multiple streams of income. Everybody should have them, right? Like we're hearing all of these discussions, right? If you follow any business entrepreneur, quite honestly, on any platform, you are hearing this conversation over and over and over again. Everybody is saying multiple streams of income. And I want to shed some light on multiple streams of income because it's honestly a lie. And I'm saying it's a lie because I think sometimes we like words, they sound great. The problem is that we don't put things always in its best context. And so since we don't always leverage the right context, I personally feel like this moment in history of the best technology, more ways than one to make, extra money. I think what we're doing, though, we're doing a disservice to every person that we know, mainly because what we have not done a very good job of is we haven't done a very good job of talking about what that actually means, right? We're not talking about like why this is so such a tough problem. And before I get started, please go ahead and share this right now. Let everybody know to come in. Yes, I got time tonight. Yes, I said it. You see the title, multiple streams of income is a lie. It is. It actually is. And if you give me a moment, I want to show you why it's a lie. But then I want to in some ways redefine this idea, right? Like in some ways, I want to just make sure that we have like a realistic picture of what we mean when we say multiple streams of income. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna jump to the board and I'm gonna show you some stuff because I think we've got to start, like, instead of jumping on trends, I think what we got to start doing for our own lives is going, okay, what does this actually mean for me, right? Everybody's, you see it everywhere. Multiple streams of income. You need it. You're going to die without it. Well, yeah and no, right? So I want to just I want to shed some light on this idea. So share this out. I'm giving everybody time now to share this out because when I get started, I'm not slowing down. We're gonna get straight into it. All right. So, all right. So multiple streams of income is a lie. I'm just gonna write multiple streams of income is a lie. Yes, it is a lie. And we've all bought into this lie. And the hard part is, unfortunately, it's showing up backwards on here. That sucks because I want on IG for it to be flipped. Let me see if we can change that. I don't know if I can change that. If there's a way to flip this around so that y'all can see it the right way instead of backwards, that would be really helpful. Otherwise, I'm literally gonna have to turn the camera around, which I think I'm gonna do that because I want to make sure that like you guys get it. Okay, so give me 1 second to my Facebook folks. I got to take care of my IG people, man, because my IG people be showing love. All right, so now you should see that, right? Like, let me check. Let me make sure. You should see that now. All right, cool. All right, multiple streams of income is a lie. So it's a lie. We've all bought into it. I, for one, will be completely honest and say, yeah, I bought into this lie about multiple streams of income. And then I've been having a moment with it. Let me put it that way, okay? I had a moment with multiple streams of income, and I want to show you what I have figured out. Because here's the thing. When we say multiple streams of income, here's what's happening. And you be honest with you. You don't have to nobody else is hearing your thoughts or your revelation about this. But here's what's happening when you keep hearing you need multiple streams of income. You know what's happening? People are going out and they're quote unquote starting a side business. They're quote unquote. They're starting a side business and really it's just a hustle. Or what they're doing is they're saying, oh, I went and got me a LLC, right? So they paid the fee and they're saying, oh, I got this one. And what are we doing? We're saying, oh, I'm in real estate now, right? I'm getting my license. I'm doing Airbnb, right? I'm an investor, right? We're calling ourselves like all of these things. We got words, y'all, that we using. We calling ourselves gurus. We calling ourselves CEOs, right? We calling ourselves experts, right? Now, I'm not suggesting by any stretch of the imagination that you can't become this. I am saying here's the issue. You just opened the business 6 months ago. All you did was buy the LLC. All you did was pay the fee. You ain't even took your real estate license yet. Can I give you a real example of some stuff that's happening? People are saying, I'm a real estate investor. But if I ask you, how many deals have you done? Oh, well, I'm working on it. No, then you're not a real estate investor. I'm sorry. Right? And on top of all of this, you know what we're still doing? We're still working our full-time job. Right? So we still working our job. Or what's happening, here's the crazy part. Or what we're also doing with this is we're literally saying all of this stuff, but what we're not being honest about is, okay, I'm not even putting in all the hours that it's going to take for this thing to get for real. Meaning, if I want all of it, I'm doing Turo, right? I'm flipping, right? I'm flipping houses. I'm saying I'm doing my podcast, right? Hey, some people are saying they got their podcast. But here's the problem. By saying all of these things, you're never generating any real cash, because the truth of the matter is, everybody, just because you change your profile name doesn't mean you have multiple streams of income. And I just think that when we're doing this to ourselves, you ain't put the hours in, you've made no real revenue, right? You've got no clients, no real where somebody can point to you and say, because of him, I did what he or she said and I made X, or I started this, or I built this. They coached me through this, right? I'm not saying you can't start, but I think the problem is when we say I got multiple streams of income, what we're really saying is I'm working my full-time job and I'm just starting these. You realize that saying I just started these doesn't sound as great as, oh, I got multiple streams of income. I'm making money a bunch of different ways. But you ain't got no receipts, boo. You don't actually have anything. So the reason why this stays a hustle 9 years is because you never figured out how to actually do business, right? So the problem with this idea of multiple streams of income, and the reason why I'm saying this a lot, is because I think what we're doing, we're too early on words and on stuff without the substance and what we should have to go with it. And here's what's happening. I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. Here's what's happening as a result. As a result of all of this, here's what's going on. I'm gonna just put this up here. As a result of this, here are the results of doing so. The actual real results that are happening in everybody's life today is, one, people are getting hurt, y'all. People are getting hurt financially. You're hurting your current relationships because they listen to you, and the little bit of 2-second information you got, you automatically became a guru. You automatically became a CEO. And we're overblowing this multiple streams of income idea, right? The other thing that is happening is that because we're hurting other people, we ourselves are losing credibility. Listen, we don't have to lose credibility for everybody to start like. We don't need to lose our credibility in a world of digital technology, in a world of results-driven nature, in this world where you can't always touch somebody like directly. I think it's time out for us, just constantly using these words, because your credibility is all you got. Do you realize that when you start hurting people with taking 2 cents of information that you just learned and saying, I'm a guru in this, that the moment you do that and you lose your credibility, it's going to be very hard to gain that back. It's hard, y'all. It's very, very hard. And your word is your bond. And so when people are, and then guess what happens? Now you get upset because people won't fork over their money to come do something with you. Well, because you haven't really done it. You don't really have multiple streams of income, right? And so the other problem is you are not focused. You're unfocused. You're unfocused. You're not actually focused. I'm sorry, but to do real estate, Airbnbs, be an investor, run a full-time digital marketing firm, and do t-shirts, and run the local barbershop down the street, to run the hair care salon down the road. Listen, it's nice. It sounds good. But you're not going to be effective. And in fact, you know what's crazy? I'm going to tell you something that's even crazier. What's even crazier about doing this and saying all of this, what you really did was you created a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different jobs. You created jobs. You never created an actual business. You created jobs. That's what you created. And so you're running around telling everybody what you're doing. And, oh, I'm so busy and I got this. You're not productive in anything. Just because you went and got your trademark and your LLC and a logo. Again, I'm not saying don't be happy about it. I'm saying we need to start being honest about this idea of multiple streams of income. It's a lie. And what we're not doing, that I feel like we should be doing a better job of, is we really need to make sure that we have an honest discussion about what does this really mean. And by the way, can I say this? multiple streams of income does exist. But there's a way that the big boys and real businesses are playing the game of multiple streams of income. And I think for those of us who've never run an actual business before, we're hurting ourselves and then we're hurting other people in the process because we're telling people we got multiple streams of income. No, you have 5 jobs. You have 6 jobs. And so you're not honest with yourself. You're not being honest with customers and people. You only have processes in place. You don't have a business. And all I'm saying is just be honest enough with yourself that I started a hustle, and what I'm doing is we've got here's what the problem is. The problem is we got shiny object syndrome. This is our problem. Y'all, we got shiny object syndrome. You hear that there's some money to be made in a particular industry and you run off to go do that thing. Well, why you wouldn't stay committed to the thing that you just started 6 months ago? You just started. And I'm going to tell you the problem with this discussion of multiple streams of income. This is why I'm saying it's a lie. The problem when you keep running to the next shiny object is you never truly gave it your all to see if it could even work. The first thing, not the fifth thing. So I don't know. I think we've got to recalibrate this conversation about multiple streams of income. And that's what I want to be able to do. And see, people are getting hurt, and you're probably hurt. You know what's crazy? You're probably stressed out right now because you bought into so many ideas and you know none of them. Listen, y'all, just because you're watching somebody with their results at the end do it, there's not one race ever ran in the Olympics, in track and field, nowhere. In a car, there's no race that is ran that does not mean everybody has to start from the same starting block. You don't get to start in the middle. Yes, you might have seen somebody who's already at the middle and they're giving you game about how to start. That's one thing. Yes, somebody might be winning at the finish line and saying, yo, here's a path for you. That's coaching. But you still got to start and run your race. You can't run your race on somebody else's results. And this multiple streams of income conversation, it's just a lie. And so I think what we got to do, I don't want us doing this anymore. I don't want us chasing shiny objects. I'm not saying there aren't things that you can't get into. But if you ain't already generating revenue from the first thing that you just started 6 months ago or a year ago, do you realize that the people that you're following right now, the results that you're like googly eyed over, ask them when did they start? Ask them how long it's been. I had a conversation with a guy today that wants to be on my podcast. He invented a product, all right? And we were having a conversation today, and I said to him, man, social media seems to be going well. Looks like, based on the way the product is, it's out there. You got stuff going on, right? And it's a fitness equipment piece, right? And it's in a chain of gyms, and he's rolling now. And I said, hey man, when did you start? Talk to me about where the starting line was. You know what he told me? He said he started in 2006. He didn't get a patent for his product till 2 years later. They didn't get it off the ground until another 2 years. It was slow climbing, and then the pandemic hit. Thankfully, the pandemic hit, and they were getting more orders online, but the pandemic wasn't '06. So if somebody, if I have him on the show and you see his results, people go, oh man, that's great. Oh, I got to get into that. No, you stick with your race. Like, stay in your lane. Be mindful of what's happening, but you can't drive a car. You can't drive on somebody else's steering wheel in their car. You have your own life car. You've got to run your race. All right, so I'm sure you get that part at this point, right? So I want to talk about now, okay, then what should multiple streams of income mean, right? What should it actually mean? And how are the big boys playing the game of multiple streams of income? Like, what is that actually, right? Because here's what's happening. Let me go back. Here's what's happening to you and I today when we say we got multiple streams of income. You're actually just working your full-time job still, or what you've done is you quit your full-time job and all of these are still only equaling your full-time job. I'm not saying that's a wrong thing. I'm just saying let's have some reality. So anyway, here's what happens when we're saying we're doing all of those things. Here's what happens. What happens is there's a term. I want to share this term with you. So back in the day, this is like barbarian medieval days, right? There was a moment in time where when they would capture a territory, right? When they would go to war, they would capture territory. And what would happen is that person who captured it won, and whoever were the people that got captured, either you got executed or it was harsh, right? But I want to show you something and show you what's happening to you and I today when we chase shiny objects and say we got multiple streams of income. I want to show you something. Here's what happened back then that correlates to today. So this is like medieval days, right? Here's what would happen. So they would capture somebody, they'd capture a territory of land, the barbarians would capture a territory of land or whatnot, right? And here's what would happen. So if you got captured, if I got captured back then, they used to do this thing of a form of torture, and everybody had to watch, including the people who hadn't gotten yet tortured. Let me show you what they did. So Chris is here, right? I'm laying here. I got the sad face, right? And I'm on a block, right? So I'm on this block. And what would happen is on this block, because I got captured or you got captured, just stick with me. You about to see, it's going to hit you in a second. What happened was when they would capture somebody, they would tie, actually, let me switch this. They would tie the person's hands and feet to a rope, okay? That rope was tied to 1, 2, 3, 4 horses, okay? These represented horses. And when the people who captured me, and they would say, all right, we got Chris Williams in his territory, and we're going to show that we won. And so everybody else who was with me, who ain't dead yet, watched me on this, and they call this quartering. Why? Because they would take all 4 of my limbs, attach them to a horse, and each horse would be instructed to take off as fast as they could in separate directions. And I would be splitting 4s. Thus, it was called quartering. When the French saw this, the French coined this as this word, distraction. That's what the French called it. They called it distraction. Now, that sounds grueling, and you like, Chris, what the heck does that have to do with multiple streams of income and me having 5 jobs? If I want to have 5 jobs, cool. I'd rather have 5 businesses that I'm working to try to build up than work my day job. Okay, cool. Let me show you something. This distraction that the French called, here's what's happening with your money. And if we're honest, I want everybody to be honest in your own little world. This is really day job money. Because most people have not figured out yet how to turn their hustle into an actual revenue generating business. So here's what happens. Your day job is caught up in credit cards. Your day job, you got phone bill. Let me make this smaller. And your day job money, you got caught up in mortgage or rent. Right? Your day job, you got caught up in subscriptions. And I'm talking about all types of subscriptions that you got, Netflix, Disney Plus, all of that, magazines, everything else, right? Your day job is caught up in them LLCs that you bought, right? Websites that you paying for, right? You've got trademarks that you done bought, right? And if we're all really honest with ourselves, y'all, we ain't done nothing with those things yet. They're not really making us any money. Your day job money is caught up in courses. Nothing wrong with that. But we just got to be honest. Courses, webinars that we buy in about every new shiny object. It's caught up in shoot. What else? You get the point. Basically, wait a second. Do you see what I'm seeing? So Chris was being courted over here back in the 1600s. I'm sorry. Ain't my money being distracted too? My money is being distracted. My day job money being distracted in all of these ways. Oh, don't forget renewal fees, right? Renewal fees that we got to do every year. Some of us might have gotten one piece of property. You still got holding costs every month, right? I mean, I could keep going on and on, but my point is, y'all, when we say we got multiple streams of income, and the reason why I'm telling you it's a lie is because you might have looked at this situation and was like, oh, okay, they called that distraction. I'm sorry, but your daytime job money is distracted. You do not have multiple streams of income. You're trying to make this one thing pay for all of this stuff in hopes that one of those little tiny, you can't even call it a creek of money, actually starts to generate some real money. Okay? This is what's happening to our money. And listen, I'm not here to bash anybody trying to make it work. I'm trying to make it work. But I realized some things that I figured out along the way. I'm just being honest. I realized some things that I figured out along the way that turn what I do into real revenue, real money. I'd rather have one strong, flowing bucket of money than 10 weak puddles that ain't even connected or going nowhere. See, I built a real side business that allows me to do other things. My money doesn't necessarily get distracted this way. It does for a little second, like when you first starting up a particular business, but I stuck with my business long enough, right? So what are the big boys doing? How are the big boys then creating multiple streams of income? Let me show you. Let me show you what big boys are doing and how big business is done. Let's take Apple. Okay, let's take Apple. What was Apple's original product? What was Apple's original product? Apple's original product, they announced the iPhone. This one product became the product by which they said this thing here, before that, Macintosh computers, okay? So we got to even go back further than this. We got to go back because I want to show you this. So Apple started with Macintosh computers. Macintosh computers back in the day, okay? Steve Jobs comes along and Steve Jobs says, hey, I want to put the World Wide Web and into your pocket. Y'all might remember the first time he stood on stage and mentioned it, right? So then came the iPhone. Recognizing things were changing, right? Technology was getting smaller. He wanted to make the iPhone. He made the iPhone. World Wide Web, right? It gave you access to things that we never had before. So you went from the Macintosh computer to the iPhone. What was next? The all-encompassing iPod, right? We had the iPod. What was happening between the Macintosh computer, the iPhone, and the iPad? What happened was Apple had realized that the jump between here and here was the personal device. Just stick with me, y'all, because I hope this all is going to make sense. So it's called the iPhone, the iPod. What did they do next? They introduced the iPad, right? Then you had the iMac, right? But what are they doing? What's happening is they saw the change, they made the pivot, but what they did was they were building on top of one thing and coming up with other ways to ingratiate a person into what is now known that forever high wall of Apple products, right? So you get an iPhone, you're completely wild, you love it to death. Then you hear about this thing called the iPod, and you like, oh, I can hold all this music on it. Great, you got that. Then they showed you about the iPad, and that was like a bigger iPhone, with all the bells and whistles. Oh, I gotta get that. Then you got the iMac, and then you got the Apple Watch, and so on and so forth, right? But what's happening is, are they like making completely out of the realm of what they do? No. What they're doing is they're driving deep. They're making things from a core product. They have a core product. I hope you're hearing what I'm saying. A core product. And after they have a core product, that generates revenue, they start looking at the market and going, what is it that could enhance the relationship we already have with our current customers? Well, what if we started, and let me just draw this because I want to make sure we get it, right? So what is Apple effectively doing? Apple started doing things and driving deeper relationships off of their core product. Their core product would have been, the iPhone, right? That's a core product. Off of this one product, they started making this walled garden of personal devices. But then guess what happened? Now they went to corporations. Remember when BlackBerry was in every corporation? They never thought they would ever get taken over because back then, I don't know if y'all noticed, but in corporate America, it was like, don't nobody want no personal device. All of the corporations thought Steve Jobs is crazy. Don't nobody want to have that type of information and stuff on their phone. They want emails and phone calls. That's it. BlackBerry was killing the market during that time. This joker stood up and said, this is the new way. People started buying into it. BlackBerry ceases no more. Why? Because they didn't see the trend coming. But Apple didn't go and make all other types of stuff that ain't in their wheelhouse. They stuck to what works and just deepened their relationship with their customers. So they made the iPhone. They started doing B2B sales. What does that mean? They would go B2C. They had B2C. They would go to corporations. Hey, how about you guys start leveraging our products inside of your corporation? Now people got walking around with iPhones, walking around with iPads, got iMacs all over the company, right? That's what they started doing. Then what did they start doing? They started saying, okay, how can we continue to deepen our relationship, right? Well, now they got subscription base. I can't spell tonight. And what are the subscriptions to? Their stuff. Apple News, right? Like all of these things. Apple TV. Oh, I didn't even talk about Apple TV, right? Apple TV. It's all of these products, right? It's all of this stuff. But guess what? What you don't have is Apple real estate. Apple, science fiction. Apple space. They're not doing that. What are they doing? They're effectively building products. They're driving deep with what they have, right? They're just driving deeper. That's all. Well, how would you do this then? Because to me, that's a model of multiple streams of income. To me. So I'm going to give you my personal example. Let me give you mine, all right? So I got The World According to Chris. This is what I have, okay? That's me. And what I'm doing is I'm building my business and my brand to drive deeper relationships, right? So when somebody comes into my world, I've got more in my space that people can leverage. So what does that look like? So with The World According to Chris, I have a podcast. Now, why would I have a podcast? My podcast is free. But my podcast lets people learn about me and who I am, what I'm about, the principles I share about helping people build successful side businesses, the stuff that I stand on. I stand on God. I'm big on family. Like I talk about the things that I'm doing. This gives people an opportunity to learn about the world according to Chris. Well, where else can you find that? I'm in the process right now. I'm going to write a book. Same stuff, just in book form. My podcast now sits on 6 different platforms, right? I'm working on merch. Now that merch, same stuff, My slogans, hashtag massive action, right? Side success is a thinking man or woman's game. I got new merch that's getting ready to come out around that stuff, right? So my point is, but it's the same stuff. I'm just driving deeper relationships with people, right? So then what else? Okay, got some coaching, right? I'm not coaching people on real estate. That's not my world. I'm not out here telling you, get with me if you want to learn with Turo. That ain't my world. I can point you to some people. It's not my world. That ain't what I'm into, right? I know about crypto, but I don't have a crypto class for you. My game is this. This is my world. Side business. When you see Chris and you look at everything I have, all of what I talk about has everything to do with building a side business. Everything. My podcast talks about it. I'm doing books, merch, coaching, any version of digital products, right? My digital products. What are those? Well, my seven biggest mistakes. Seven biggest mistakes employees make before getting fired, laid off, or downsized. But it's about side business, right? My challenges, side business, right? I'm not getting off of what I do, right? But once this engine that I'm building grows and has been building I have my e-commerce business, right? This is what I started, right? And it grew. I actually did it. I didn't start it one day and go, oh, y'all need to come listen to me. And then you come find out and you like, Chris, what's up? Show me what you got. And I can't produce nothing for you. I can't show you what I've done. I can't show you who I helped. I would lose credibility immediately if I couldn't do that. Right? So this right here is all me. Yes, but you'll find side business in many forms. You're not going to find this in many multiple businesses. But I want to show you, this is how big business is done, by the way. This is real multiple streams of income. This is real multiple streams of income. What it means, when I say I want to redefine it, what I mean is multiple streams of income to me is now defined as, this is just how I look at it. Listen, you don't have to. You can say Chris is crazy. He's wilding. But you know how it is when you go to bed at night. Because you're not driving deep on the one thing that you actually have. So that people can really get to know you. So what I define as multiple streams of income, I look at that as various ways to serve customers in my niche. That's the way I see multiple streams of income. Various ways to service people in my niche. Books, YouTube, podcasts, merch, webinars, challenges, my podcast, to me, this coaching, that's where I'm focused, y'all. Now, I'm not saying you can't go out and do those other things, but I'm going to show you how big businesses go out and do other things. See, when I'm generating revenue from all of these, guess what it did? Now, my wife owns her own digital marketing firm, right? So we've got multiple streams, but they generate revenue. I guess that's the point I'm wanting to make. Like, so how is it then? So then, okay, well then what does this do? All of this feeds back into the main thing, right? So how does this work then? Now, let me show you. Now, this now allows me to do investments. Why? Because I now have money generated that when opportunities present themselves by the actual experts that I'm connected to, I now have money to invest. I hope this is making sense, y'all. Like, I really hope like you getting it. I now actually got money to invest. My wife and I can go invest in real estate, commercial and residential. Yes, you can buy blocks at a time. Yes, I can do that now because I have a business that is actually, it's multiple things inside. I'm deep in my relationship. Hope that makes sense. Now, I not only can I do investments, now I can do, and investments, I mean just the stuff that you know, right? But this also includes investing in other businesses. I learn about new businesses all the time. I hear about things that are going on, and sometimes it's like, ooh, maybe we want to go make a play on that. I don't know. But I got the revenue to do it, right? I have revenue generating that allows me to do it. It allows me now to be able to go out and say, okay, not only can I do investments, but now I can do real partnerships, right? I can do partnerships for bigger plays, right? I can go do more in advertising, right? I can go do more now than the average person. Why? Because I have a business that has multiple streams running to the ocean. Hope that makes sense. Okay? So investments, partnerships, advertising, you name it. Like, I can go do a bunch of stuff now. I can go grab, like I said, investments include real estate and everything. Like, just think anything that you want to invest in, you're going to do that. Guess what I can also do? Investments work also the other way around. Hello. I'm generating revenue that now I can grow these things. I'm generating revenue. So now when I started with my podcast, now I can go write a book. I got money to invest in that book because of the podcast. From that book, I can now go do merch because I got money from the podcast and the books to go do the merch. Now I can offer coaching. Why? Because I've actually helped people go build a successful side business. I hope I'm driving home the point, right? Now I can go and build digital products. Why? Because I got money from the podcast, money from the books, money from the merch, money from the coaching. Now I can go build more effective digital products. So I can reinvest back into my business. This is my listen. I'm not saying you have to listen to me. You don't have to. Who am I? I'm just a guy that, I'm just out here. Okay. I am saying to you that this is the reason why multiple streams of income is a lie. Because we're too busy trying to have 10 types of businesses all at once, and you ain't generated revenue from one yet. And you got to be honest with you. Again, I do not discourage people to go and build whatever you're trying to build. Listen, if you got it like that and you could just, but I'm not going to kill myself trying to do 5 when what I should do is get really good at 1. I should get really good at generating revenue from 1. And if I learn to generate revenue from 1, then I think it's easy for me to start building multiple streams from my big puddle, or from my big ocean, from my big pond, from my big lake, right? But having a bunch of puddles that are not connected It's never going to work, y'all. You can't fund certain investments, right? You can't do it. Like right now, I'm not even at a place like there's some investments that happen with like people I run in with their circles. I'm having to put blinders on and close my ears because I'm not at that level that they can go pull $1 million cash because there's $1 million play going on. They can go pull it. I'm not there yet, and I'm okay with that. I'm getting there. I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm going to get there. Don't please believe I'm going to get there. But my point is, I'll never achieve these things if I don't switch my idea of what multiple streams of income actually is or are or whatever. I don't care about being grammatically correct right now. I'm just trying to give y'all some game, man, because I don't want us to keep having. I just it's too much, and I just want it to stop, I guess. And I'm not saying it will. I'm just one guy. Like I'm not. I just want you, like, if you watch this or you're watching this on a replay, please do yourself a favor. Please, please, like, please ensure that you do this the right way. All right? Like, just do this the right way. That's all I'm saying. Let me see. All right. Let me turn this around in my face. What's happening, good people? On IG. I got IG going. I got a lot of folks here. Yo, what's going on, y'all? I had to turn the camera around so y'all could see on IG. Listen, for my Facebook people, I hope that made sense, y'all. Like, honestly, like I'm not trying to be I don't know everything. Listen, I'm not the smartest person on the planet. I don't know everything. I do not know everything. I know what I know what's gonna work for me, right? And I just wanted to be able to share that with some folks. Let's see. Okay. Okay. All right, cool. All right, y'all. That's it, man. I hope this helps. Like, I hope this helps. I really do. Like, I really do hope this helps. Because I just wanted to make sure that we help everybody. That's it, man. I might even put this on my YouTube channel because it helped me. When I first started like learning this stuff. So listen, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this on the replay, share this out. But I wanted to share it, man. So that's it. Y'all have a good night.